The bottom, yeah. Yep. We're on the bottom of Kuf Yud Ches. We're holding where it says Omar Rav Nachman, about 7 lines from the bottom. So here, the next shtickle of Gemara, the Gemara Kuf Yud Ches, 7 lines from the bottom. Kuf Yud Ches. So the Gemara here is going to bring from many different Talmidoim that are going to speak about a specific inyan or a specific mitzvah. Sorry about that. If no one's on, I'm going to put off the phone. A specific inyan that they were all careful about, and therefore they. Okay, let's see inside. Omar Rav Nachman said, "Teisi li." I should be rewarded for this. What is for what? The kaimis shalosh sudas b'Shabbos. That I was always careful to fulfill, to eat shalosh sudas on Shabbos. Not always so easy. Sometimes a person, Shabbos afternoon, especially in a short Shabbos where he's not hungry at all, and he eats 3 sudas on Shabbos, so he's tastily. Rashi says I should get schar for this. So we're going to have a lot of different amiroim here with this expression of teisili. The Marsha actually says that the pshat of teisili is different. Teisili does not mean schar. The Marsha asks on Rashi, all these amiroim are talking about the schar of this. That's what they were focused on. So therefore the Marsha says the taich of teisili is that they're davening to the Eibishter, teisili, this should come to me, that I should have the ability to continue this. Kuf Yud Ches Amud Beis, you got it?
No.
Teisile, that this schar, that not the schar, but I should have the ability to continue doing this mitzvah. Sagt the Gemara weiter, Amar Rav Yudah, Teisili, I should get the schar, according to Rashi's pshat, the kaimis in tefillah, that I was able to be mekayim to concentrate properly in davening. Amar Rav Huna Bereid Rav Yeshua, Teisili, that I should get the schar for what? That I never walked 4 amis without. You want to help him out, please? That I never walked 4 amis with my head uncovered. I never walked with 4 amis with my head uncovered. As we know, in the time of the Gemara and the time of the Tanaim Amirayim, they didn't necessarily always walk with a yarmulke. The Gemara says that only Talmidei Chachamim did, so he never walked without a yarmulke. Amar Rav Sheishis, Teisi li, the kaimis mitzvahs tefillin. I should get schar for being mekayim mitzvahs tefillin. As Rashi says, it refers to the fact that he never walked 4 amis without tefillin. Amar Rav Nachman said, Teisi li, the kaimis mitzvahs tzitzis. I should get schar for the fact that I always had tzitzis on me. Wherever I walked, I never walked 4 amas without tzitzis. Amar Rav Yosef Berei, Rav Yosef said to Rav Yosef his son, Berei de Rabba, the son of Rabba, Avuch b'may avazor tvei. Your father, what was he very, very careful about? Amalei, so he answered him, Kuf Yates, b'mitzvahs b'tzitzis. He was very careful with the mitzvah of tzitzis. Yoim echad, have a kasalik bedarge. There was once that he was climbing a ladder or climbing the steps. Ifsik le chuta, a chut of the tzitzis snapped. V'lei nachis v'asa, and he didn't come down, he didn't move from where he was. Kamadolei rame, until he didn't put back in the tzitzis that snapped. This lashon of the Gemara, avuch b'may avazor tfei, is a lashon the Rebbe would quote very often. The Alter Rebbe in Tanya and Igeres HaKodesh speaks about it, and the basic point that he says there is, every yid, every single yid has one mitzvah that's sort of the shar, the gateway, the opening for him, that he has to focus more on that mitzvah, and that's his connection, and through this, he gets a connection to everything else. Every person has to be mekayim all mitzvahs, but there's one particular mitzvah that his neshama shines more, and through that mitzvah he gets a connection to everything. That's the avuch b'may havazor tfei. Where did he shine more? What was that one mitzvah? Abaya said, Teisi li, should get schar for this. The chichazin atzurbe mirabanon, the shalom mesechte. When I saw from the young Talmidei Chachamim that he made a siyum on a mesechte, avidne yemetavel rabbanon. I would make a yomtiv, I would make a big celebration for all the rabbanon. Right, so this is connected to the days that were coming up now in the days of the 9 days, when there's a inyan dafke. It says from the Baal Shem Tov, and the Rebbe kocht sich, and this to make a siyumim, right? To bring in the simcha even in these days. Omar Rava said, Teisi li, she gets schar for this. When one of the young chachamim come in front of me for a dinteira, ledina, for a dinteira, lemazigna reisha abesadya, I don't put down my head on the pillow at night, until I don't think and I don't look in every aspect of how I could find a merit for him, to help him in this dinteira. Mar Baravashi said, Pasilna le'letzur b'merabanan, ledina. I can't serve as a judge, as a dayan, in a din Torah for a Talmud Chacham. Why? My time is the chavev alai kegufoi, because a Talmud Chacham is so beloved to me, like my own body. And a person can't see anything negative on himself. He's a negei b'david. He's not impartial, because he feels such a love for the Talmidei Chachamim. Rab Chanina me'atif. Now going back to Shabbos, to honor Shabbos. So the Gemara now says as follows: Rab Chanina me'atif ekoi apanya d'mayla Shabbata. He would wrap himself in special garments, and he would stand by the night of Shabbos to greet the Shabbos. And Amar, he said, Boyu v'neitze, come, let's go out l'kras Shabbos, towards Shabbos, to greet the Shabbos HaMalka, the Shabbos the Queen. Rabbi Yanai lovish money. Rabbi Yanai would dress himself in his Shabbos clothing, b'mayla Shabbos, at the night of Shabbos, going out Friday night. V'Amar, and he said, Boyi chala, come in kala, come in my kala. So this is, of course, the makar for the meaning that we have that Friday night by the end of L'Chadaydi, when we say Boyi chala, we turn around to greet the Shabbos, to bring in the Shabbos. Rabbi Barav Huna iklalebe Rabbi Barav Nachman. Once Rabbi Barav Huna came to visit Rabbi Barav Nachman. Karivule tlas savi tachye. They brought to him 3 sa'ah, which is a measurement of tachye, of oiled wafers, which was a special dish. Amalei, so Rabbi Barav Huna said, Mi avi yedisen da sina? You knew to expect me that I'm coming, that you prepared this for me? Amalei, so they said to him, no, but mi adifis lon mina? Are you any more special than Shabbos? We prepared it for Shabbos, so that's why you have it. So this is something special that they're prepared, especially like today, you don't eat regular bread on Shabbos. You prepare challah for L'Kovet Shabbos. So then they had this special wafer that they prepared for Shabbos. Rab Abba, now the Gemara is going to go through a whole list of what different Amiroim did in the honor of Shabbos. Rab Abba Zovin Betleiser Astiri Pshiti, he bought for 13 gold coins, which was called Astiri. Bisra, he bought meat for Shabbos, Mitleisa Tabchi, from 13 different butchers. Omashron Lahu, Atzinoire de Dasha, he would deliver it to the door, by the pivot of the door. There was a place there that he put it down. Va'omelahu, and he would say to the people in the kitchen, Ashur, hi, be energetic, rush and do this, be energetic, rush and prepare this for Shabbos. So he himself would go out shopping for Shabbos. That's the point that it's saying here. Rabavo Ava Yosef atakta the shina. Rabavo would sit on an ivory stool. Umayshif nura, and he would fan the flames of the fire for the cooking for Shabbos. Rav Onon Lovish Gunda. Rav Onon put on a smack, a black smack, to show everybody that on Shabbos you have to be ready to work hard, even to get dirty. The Tana de Rabbi Shmuel, we had this before. Rabbi Shmuel said, "Begodim shebishul ben kedera l'rabbi." The garments you wear when you're cooking for your master, al yumzik ben kains l'rabbi. It's not the same garments you wear when you're pouring a cup coming to serve your master. So you have to be ready on Sha'ar of Shabbos to get dirty, to be in the kitchen or whatever else is expected to do. Rav Safra Machrich Reisha. Rav Safra would singe the head of the animal to prepare it for the meal. Rave Malach Shibut. Rave would salt the fish. Rav Huna Madlik Shragi. Rav Huna would light Shabbos candles, right? So usually, even though it's a mitzvah for the women, but if there was additional candles, there's a lot of lights in the home, he would light the Shabbos candles. Rav Papa Godel Psilte. Rav Papa would prepare the wicks. Rav Chiste Parim Silke. Rav Chiste would cut the beets. Rabbe, Rav Yosef, Matzlach Tzivi, they would both cut the wood that was needed for Shabbos. And Rav Zeira Mitzatis Tzituti. Rav Zeira would also, he would light the fire in the wood, he would light the fire for Shabbos. Rav Nachman by Yitzchok, Mechatev Ayel, Mechatev Nofik, he would carry things on his shoulder, coming in, coming out, he would carry going in, going out. And Omar, he said, Ilu Mikluni Rab Ami v'Rabasi. If Rab Ami and Rabasi would come as guests to visit me, would I not do this? Would I not prepare for them by carrying things in and out to prepare for their honor? So the same thing, Shabbos is no less honorable, and therefore he himself would carry things in and out for the honor of Shabbos. Others say that actually Rav Ami and Rabasi themselves said this. Rav Ami and Rabasi, mechatvi v'ayli, mechatvi v'nofik, they would carry in and out. And Omri, and they said, Ilu iklol and Rabbi Yechanan, if Rabbi Yechanan, their teacher, would come, Mila mechatfina kamei, would we not carry the packages in and out in his honor?
No two of them did the same thing.
So it seems like over here, everybody had one job that they did. So let me just say about this Gemara here. The Alter Rebbe brings this in Shulchan Aruch. There's a famous Kuntras Achrim of the Alter Rebbe in Siman Reish Nun, where the Alter Rebbe says that the things that it says over here in the Gemara, you might think that it looks like a nice agarata that says the special things that these Amiroim did in Lefnim Shuras Hadin. But the Alter Rebbe says no. If you look in the Rambam, it's a chiyuv. And why is it a chiyuv? Because one of the things you have to do for Shabbos is kavod Shabbos. What's kavod Shabbos? The very fact that you yourself are preparing, that is the kavod of Shabbos. When you have something that's very honorable to you, you don't give the job to somebody else. You do it yourself. So usually you have the concept of mitzvah ba yesim b'shluchai, that a person should make an effort to do a mitzvah himself and not give it over to somebody else in cases that you could give it to someone else. Over here says the Alter Rebbe, it's not just mitzvah ba yesim b'shluchai, it's an actual chiyuv, because this is how you express the honor of Shabbos, by doing it yourself. Interesting.
It has to be something that you enjoy, or something that even that.
If you enjoy it, I'm sure it's even better. You enjoy preparing for Shabbos, but it has to be something that you yourself are doing, not giving it to someone else. Now the Gemara brings a famous story of Yosef Meike Shabbos. Yosef Meike Shabi Hava. Yosef used to honor Shabbos. So Hahu Nachri B'Shvivuse. There was a guy that was living in his neighborhood. The have a Nefishi Nichse Tuva, had a lot of money. Amrule Kaldoi. So stargazers told him, Kula Nichse Yosef Meike Shabbos Achel. All your money, Yosef Meike Shabbos is going to eat it. He's going to get all your money. The Masha actually says that the way to read this Gemara is that they told him, Yosef Meike Shabbos already ate all your money. What does that mean? Because as we'll see soon in the Gemara, whatever money you spend for Shabbos, the Eibishter gives you back all that money and even more. So they were telling him, this Yosef Meike Shabbos, he already ate and spent all his money for Shabbos, and therefore he already was zeiche, he already got enough money that you own. So what happened? So Yosef Meike Shabbos is going to eat all of this. So Azul Zavninu Lekulu Nichse. So he decided, hey Bazai, what do I need all of my possessions? He sold all of his possessions. And Zavnbu Marginta. And he bought an expensive pearl. Oisve Besaine. And he sewed it into his hat. So once he was going on a bridge, a wind blew it off, and Shadye B'maya, it blew it into the water. Bale Kavra, and a fish swallowed it. Now what happened? Askua, they hauled the fish out of the water. The fishermen took the fish out of the water, and Aisua, they brought it to the the fish market. Apanya the Maila Shabbat, it was already late Shabbos, Friday afternoon. It was mamish right before Shabbos. So Omri, they said, Man Zavin Ki Hashta. It's already after hours. Who's going to buy this fish right now? Omri Luhu. So people said to the fishermen, Zelu Amtiu Le Gabe Yosef Meike Shabbos. Go and bring this fish to Yosef Meike Shabbos. The Rogil, the Zavin, he is accustomed to buying such beautiful, such good foods for Shabbos. And to Yuel in LA, they brought it to him. Zavne bought the fish. Kare, he tore it open, he cut it open. Ashkich Bemaginta. He found this pearl inside of it. And Zavne, he sold the pearl for how much? Betleisa ilisi the dinre the daver. 13 attics full of gold coins. Rashi says that it's an exaggeration. Taisu says that Elisa is not attics. Elisa is a name of a vessel. So it was 13 vessels of gold coins. And the Marsha says that the number 13 is not random, even according to Rashi that says that it's a guzma. It's an exaggeration, it's not a random number. We find many things in the number of 13, the Yud Gimel Midas HaRachmim, the 13 attributes of mercy, the 13 Midas of the Torah. 13 is a very special number, and that's why the Gemara uses this number. The Eibishter showed his tremendous mercy and kindness to give him such riches. Pagabeyahu Saba, so this old individual, which according to some is Eliyahu Navi, encountered him, this Yosef Meike Shabbos, and he told him, Omar, man, the Yosef Shabbata, somebody that spends money for Shabbos, even if he has to borrow money for Shabbos, even if you're paying with your credit card, Pare Shabbata. The Shabbos, the Eibush will pay you back. Shabbos will pay you back, like it happened here in this story. Rabbi asked the question from Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yosi. Ashirim sheberetz Yisrael, the rich people in Eretz Yisrael, b'mein zeichen. With what are they zeichen to be rich? Amalei b'shvil shemis ma'asrim, because they give meiser. Shenema aser ta'aser, that says the double lashon of aser ta'aser. What does this mean? Aser b'shvil shetisasher. Give money for meiser, tzedakah, in order to become rich. The Rebbe would be medayik in this lashon of the Gemara, aser b'shvil. B'shvil shetisasher, meaning that even the person could even have that intention in mind to give the money for the purpose to become rich. Not just if you give it, you become rich. But bishvil, like the famous Gemara that says, B'chanuni na b'zayis, the Eibishter says, you can test me with this. You can give the tzedakah, and that, if you do it with that purpose, it'll make you rich. Shebebavel b'mein zeichen. So he asked him, what about the rich people in Bavel? With what are they zeichet to be rich? Amalei b'shul shemechabden es ha-Torah, because they are mechabed the Torah learners, right? And then Bavel was the place where you had all the Tanaim and Amirayim in that time period, or the Amirayim in that time period, the mechabed, the people that learn Torah. The rich people in other lands that don't have that opportunity to be mechabed Torah in the same way, with what are they rich? Amalei b'shul shemechabden es ha-Shabbos, because they honor Shabbos. The Omer Abchiyah Barabba. Once I was a guest at a balabayas for Shabbos, at a balabayas in the city of Lutkia, which was not in Bavel. But what did I see? They brought a golden table, masay, shisha b'nei yadam, that was so heavy they needed 16 people to carry it. And there was 17 silver chains that were affixed to it that they had to carry with it. That's how they carry the table. The kaides, and there's plates, the kaises, the kitainis, the tziloichias, kvuis boy, and all kinds of containers to drink from it, cups or whatever to drink on it. And v'alav, and on this table was kol mine maichel, all kinds of foods, v'chol mine megadim, all kinds of delicacies, with besamim and spices. And this is the table that they brought for Shabbos. This is how they would honor Shabbos. When they put down this table, they would say, that everything belongs to the Eibishter. When they would take it away, they would say, Hashamayim Shamayim LaHashem va'aretz nasan levnei Adam, that the heavens belongs to the Eibishter and the earth below belongs to the people. Amarti loi, so he said to this person, Beni, my son, b'mez achisa lekach, how did you merit to be so rich? Amali told me, Katzev hayisi, I was a simple butcher. Anytime I had a geschmacke behemoth that in my butcher, and Amarti, I said to him, Zute l'Shabbos. I would say that this animal I put aside for Shabbos. So Amarti loi, so I said to him, Rabchia Barabba said to him, Ashrecha shezachisa, fortunate are you that you merited, ubarach hamokim shezichach lakach. Benches the Eibishter that he gave you the schus to become so rich from honoring Shabbos this way. Amalei Kaiser Rabbi Shua ben Chananya, the Kaiser, the Caesar said to Rabbi Shua ben Chananya, Mipnei ma tavshul shel Shabbos reichei neidif. How is it that the Shabbos food by the Yidden has such a geschmack, a special, unique aroma to it? What is this? Amaloi, so he answered him, Tavle nechad yeshlanu. We have some kind of a spice. B'Shabbos, and the name of the spice is Shabbos. That we put into the ingredients of the food. V'reichei neidev, so it has a special smell. Amaloi, so the Kaiser said to him, so ten lanu eimenu, give me a little bit of this spice. So obviously he thought that Pashat meant that there was some kind of a spice, some kind of a vegetable that you put into the food. So give me some of it. Amaloi, so he answered him, no. If you keep Shabbos, this works. So it's in other words, it's not a spice. It's the Shabbos. You keep the Shabbos. This helps. If you don't keep the Shabbos, it doesn't work. You ever try to eat the cholent after Shabbos, like a Sunday morning? It doesn't work. It's something on Shabbos. It's a unique. It's not only the ingredients also. But it's the Shabbos. It's the koyach of Shabbos that's unique. Amalei Reish Galusa le Rav Amnuna. The Reish Galusa said to Rav Amnuna, Mai dechsiv v'liktoish Hashem mechubad. So we had the beginning of the pasuk before, v'karasa l'Shabbos einig, that you have to bring the pleasure to Shabbos. But then it says, v'liktoish Hashem, and to what's holy to the Eibishter mechubad, you have to sanctify. What is this? Amalei zeh Yom Kippurim. This refers to Yom Kippur. She'em by lo yachilu v'lo yishtiya. There's no eating or drinking, so you can't have pleasure. Amra Teira, so the Teira says, Kabdeyu b'ksus nekiya. You have to honor it, v'chibadatay, not v'chibadatay, v'liktoish Hashem mechubad, to this holy day of Yom Kippur, you have to honor it by dressing Yom Tiftik, dressing for Yom Kippur. Then afterwards, the pasuk there continues and it says, v'chibadatay, you should honor it. This does refer to Shabbos. As Rashi explains over here, it already said regarding Yom Kippur, mechubad, and then it says again, v'chibadatay, so this does go on Shabbos. So Rav says, how does a person express the special honor in his meal for Shabbos? I mean, you have the einig of Shabbos, the pleasure of Shabbos is by the delicacies and the food that you eat. But how do you give honor to Shabbos on Shabbos itself? Regarding how you give honor to Shabbos before Shabbos, by preparing for Shabbos, we had many examples before from the Amirayim. But how about on Shabbos itself? So Rav Amar lahaktim. Rav says, eat the meals especially earlier for Shabbos, so that shows a special honor for Shabbos. Shmuel Amar, Shmuel says no, the opposite. Eat it a bit later, delay the meal, and you'll have more of an appetite, and that's how you express your honor for Shabbos. Amru lebenei Rav Papa barabba Rav Papa, kagoyna no. Anon, how about people like us? The shchiach lam bisra v'chamra kol yoyme. We have wine and meat every single day of the week. But my nishne, how should we change things on Shabbos to show the honor for Shabbos? Amalahu, so he said to them, if you eat earlier in the day, achrua, eat later in the day, you'll have more appetite for the kavod of Shabbos. If you eat later in the day, usually, aktamua, earlier in the day to show the honor of Shabbos. So as Taisus over here says, there was no machlokes here between Rav and Shmuel how to do this. Everyone depends according to his nature. Everyone has to, according to what he usually does, he should do it differently on Shabbos to show a special honor for Shabbos. Rav Sheishes, so Rav Sheishes in the Beis HaMedrash, Bekita, in the summer months, Maisif Luhu Rabbanon, he would have the Rabbanon sit in a place, Heich de Matya Shimsha. When the sun, when it comes Chatzais, it comes the middle of the day, the sun would shine down on them. He wanted that the sun should make them hot, so they won't remain in the shul for too long, so they should go out to eat. Besisva in the winter or in the autumn, he had them sit in a place where it was shady and it would become too cold for them to sit there, and they would go to eat. So they should go up quickly to eat the Suda of Shabbos. So Rashi says that this was Rav Sheishes, he was blind, and therefore he wasn't sure exactly what the time was when it's time to go. So he wanted that the Talmidim should feel uncomfortable, and then they would get up, they would make noises with their chairs, and he would realize it's time to go to the Suda of Shabbos. Rab Zeire Mahader Azuzi Zuzi de Rabbanon. Rab Zeire Kufitesam at Beis. Rab Zeire would go to the peers of the Rabbanon that would be learning in the Bismedrish, and Amalei, he would say to them, I beg of you, do not desecrate Shabbos, don't sit here and learn all day, go and have the Yisuda of Shabbos for the Einig of Shabbos and so on. Rava says, or the Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi says, even one person that's davening alone on Erev Shabbos, so he has to say Vayechulu in the Shmei Nesra, or in our minhag, we say it in the Shmei Nesra, and then we repeat it again afterwards after the Shmei Nesra. So you should say Vayechulu to talk about the fact that the Eibusher created the world. Rav Amnuna said, a person that davens on Erev Shabbos on Friday night, and he says Vayechulu, the Eibusher considers it as if he becomes a partner with the Eibusher in creation. Shanema Vayechulu. It says Vayechulu that refers to the Eibishter, but Al Tikri Vayechulu with a shuruk, Ela Vayechalu. Vayechalu, and they finished together. They, the Eibishter, and the Yidden together are bringing about creation. Right? So the Yidden become a shuttif LaKadosh Baruch Hu. So the Marsha says, what's a pshat? How does the Yid become a shuttif to the Eibishter? So the Marsha says, because the Yidden are the witnesses that are giving the testimony for the Eibishter creating the world. You look in the world, you don't see the Eibishter in the world. The Yidden are giving the testimony, so therefore they become a shuttif. So the Rebbe explained in a sikha about this Marsha. He says, testimony, you become a partner just by giving testimony. What's a pshat that the Eidus you become a shuttif? So the Rebbe says it goes even a step deeper. The point is, you look in the world, you do not see Bechlal, the presence of the Eibishter. Adarabba, the world sometimes seems to be a jungle that's completely separated of the Eibishter. So the fact that a Yid is able to bring the presence of the Eibishter into the world by saying Vayechulu and proclaiming this to the world, bringing the presence of the Eibishter, that's a tremendous chiddush. Just like creation is a tremendous chiddush where you create and bring the Eibishter into the world, the Yid saying Vayechulu is not just an stam and edus. It's like an halacha you find sometimes in edus creates the whole thing, like by kiddushin, by in certain cases the edus itself is critical to create the whole thing. So the same thing over here, the Yidden's edus creates a tremendous chiddush of bringing the Eibishter's presence into the world. So in that sense, Yidden are partners with the Eibishter. Amar Rabbi Lazar said, Minayin shahadibur kemaisa. How do we see? Where do we see such a concept that just speaking words is as powerful as actions. Like over here we said that the Yidden, through the words that they speak, their words are like an action. They become partners with the Eibishter. Shenema b'dvar Hashem shamayim nasu. When the Eibishter creates the world, it's created just with words. A person that davens and at a Friday night, and he says then vayichulu shnei malachi yasharis mahamalavan leila adam, the two malachi yasharis that are accompanying the person, manichin yidein mal roishay, they place their hands on his head, va'imrim loy, and they say to him, v'sar avaincha, your avedas should be removed, v'chatascha techuper, and your avedas should be atoned. Right, so this is connected to what we said before, that he becomes a shutef with the Eibishter, so all of his averis are atoned for. Rabbi Yossi bar Yehuda Aimer. Rabbi Yossi bar Yehuda says, Shnei malachi asharis, melaven leila adam b'erev Shabbos, there are two malachim that accompany a person when he comes home from shul, mi beis haknesses lebeisai, to his house, echad toiv ve'echad ra. One's a good malach, and one's not a good malach. Ukeshabala beisai, and when he comes home, umatzah ner daluk, and the malach finds that there's a candle burning, shulchan aruch, and that the table is prepared, umitasim mutzas, and his bed is prepared beautifully for Shabbos. Malach toiv aimer. So the good malach says, Yihiratzen shetehei l'Shabbos acheres. May it be the will of Hashem that you should be able to continue this the next Shabbos. Malach ra, and the not good malach, oinam bal karchai. He by force he has to answer amen. He has to agree to the good malach. Ve'im lav, and if not, malach ra oimer. So then the malach, the not good malach says, Yihiratzen shetehei l'Shabbos acheres kach. If the house is not prepared for Shabbos, so then the Malach Ra says that the next week should be this way as well. Or Malach Tov Einam Bal Karchai. Then the Malach Tov has to answer Amen Bal Karchai. The Marsha says that just like the Gemara says this here, this is a famous Gemara. Just like it says this Lagabi Shabbos, the same is true with every mitzvah. Every time a Yid does a mitzvah, there are two Malachim that come along to the mitzvah. There's the good Malach and the not good Malach, and they're looking how the person is doing the mitzvah, how he's beautifying the mitzvah, and the same thing happens like it says over here in the Gemara. A person should prepare his food, his meal, his table before Shabbos on Friday. Even if it's just him alone, he's just going to eat one kazayas. So we see from here the shear of how much you have to eat on the Suda Shabbos, just a kazayas. But nevertheless, you should prepare the whole table in honor of Shabbos. The same is also on Matzah Shabbos, that a person should prepare his table on Matzah Shabbos from melave Malka, even if he's only going to be eating one little piece of challah, but he should prepare the whole table on Matzah Shabbos. Then the Gemara says, Chamim b'Matzah Shabbos, to drink hot water on Matzah Shabbos, malugma. It's a remedy. So this is a special Indian to drink hot water on Matzah Shabbos. Chama b'Matzah Shabbos, Paschama, sorry. Paschama b'Matzah Shabbos, to eat a hot bread that was heated, obviously, on Matzah Shabbos. And also when the Gemara here talks about to drink the hot water on Matzah Shabbos, what is it referring to? The water that you heat up Matzah Shabbos, because in those times there was you had the water heated up Matzah Shabbos. So you have the hot water and you have the hot bread that you prepare Matzah Shabbos, melugma, it's a remedy. Right? So the Marsha says that this is something special that a person prepares Matzah Shabbos. From this Gemara you see that there's an inyan that a person shouldn't just eat the leftovers from Shabbos for the melave Malka, but you should heat up, you should prepare something special for Matzah Shabbos. As we're gonna
Pizza count?
As the Gemara, as you're going to see right over here, the Gemara is going to bring a story about this. Rabavo hava ovden lei. But over here in the Gemara, it's retzach wegen havase, water that you heat up Matzah Shabbos. Rabavo hava ovden lei. So for Rabavo, they would prepare for him ba'afuki Shabbata. After Shabbos came out, igla telsa, they would shech the whole new calf. Igla tilsa means, there's two pshatim. Either igla tilsa means a calf that's born third to its mother, or igla tilsa means a calf that's third in its size, and it grew and the age. So this is a calf. The meat is the best meat. They would prepare a whole new calf for Matzah Shabbos, and have a achal minei, and he ate the best part of it, kol yaisa, the kidney. It's what he ate from it Matzah Shabbos. Ki gadol avimi berei. So one of his children, Avimi, got a little bit older. Amalei said to his father, why do you have to go and shech the whole other calf for the Masuda of melave Malka? Nishbek kol yaisa, we could leave over a kidney, mimayla Shabbata, from what's being prepared before Shabbos, and that's what you'll eat. Why do you have to prepare a whole new calf just for melave Malka? What happened? Shafku, they did this. They left over a kidney from the calf that they used for Shabbos. Va'asa Arya, and a lion came. Achle, and as Rashi says, it means this lion ate up this calf that was designated for Matzah Shabbos, and they didn't shecht, but a lion came and ate up the whole calf. So they saw they didn't gain anything by not using this calf for Matzah Shabbos. So again, you see over here from this Gemara that there's an inyan not only to make a melave Malka, and to eat melave Malka, pas, like the Gemara said before, pas chama, to actually wash from melave Malka. The Rebbe was to always wash from Matzah Shabbos, from melave Malka. So not only that, but to actually prepare something special for melave Malka. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Now we go to a completely different inyan. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi said, a person that answers Amen Yesh Rabba with his entire energy, according to Rashi, B'chol Koicha means B'chol Kavanasai. With all of his kavana, he concentrates on the words of what he's saying. Taisva says, B'chol kavanasa means literally with B'koil Ram, saying it with a loud voice. So a person answers, Amin Yesh Me'Rabba this way, Kairin like Zardina. The Eibishter tears any bad decree upon him. Shanemar, as the Pasuk says, B'froya prois b'Yisrael, the Eibishter annuls all punishments on the Yidden. B'esnadevam, when the Yidden donate, how is that? Baruch Hashem, when they bench the Eibishter, it's by saying, Amin Yesh Me'Rabba. So my time of Befroya Prois, why does the Eibishter annul these decrees? Because they say Amen and they bench the Eibishter. Rab Chia bar Abba Rabbi Yechanan said, Afila Yesh by Shemetz shel Avodah Zarah. Even an individual that has somewhat of Avodah Zarah in him, Meichel the Eibishter will be Meichel by saying Amen Yesh Mirabba. Ksiv Hacha, it says here the expression Befroya Prois. Ksiv Hasam, regarding Avodah Zarah, it says Kiparuahu. So therefore we see that one is mechaper on the other. Sagt the Gemara weiter, Omer Reish Lakish. Reish Lakish said, Kalaina Amin b'chol koichai. Person that answers Amen with all of his might, Paischon lo shari Gan Eden. The Eibishter opens up the entrances to Gan Eden. Shanema pischu sha'arim. Open the gates to Gan Eden. V'yovei goy tzadik. And the nation of the tzadik comes. How is this? Sheimer amunim. By keeping my faithfulness. Al tikri shoymrei emunim el shoymrim amen. Those that say amen, the Eibishter opens up the gate for them in Gan Eden. My amen. What's the meaning of the word amen? Amar Rab Chanina. The word amen is a Rashi Tevis. It makes up Kael Melech Neman, the Eibishter, the king, which is trustworthy. And it actually says that you're supposed to. Taisus here says you should, when a person says amen, you should think this kavana Kael Melech Neman. And it also says that when you say amen, you're not supposed to say amen too quickly. Amen, like chap the amen. You're not supposed to say amen too slow, drag out the amen. And you're supposed to say amen, how long should it be? As long as it says to say Kael Melech Neman. Amar Rav Yehuda Bereid Rav Shmuel Mishmei de Rav Ein adleike mitzuya ela b'mokim sheyesh chilul Shabbos. A fire doesn't break out in a place, in a house, a person doesn't have such a thing happen to him, only if there's a desecration of Shabbos. Shanemar, it says, V'im lo yisishmu elai l'kadosh yisiyim ha-Shabbos. If you're not going to listen to sanctify the day of Shabbos, ulevilti seis masa, v'hitzati eish b'sha'oreo, I will bring fire in your gates, v'ochlo armenois Yerushalayim, and it will consume the palaces in Yerushalayim. It will not be extinguished. What does it mean it won't be extinguished? Amar Rav Nachman by Yitzchak. So Rav Nachman Yitzchak explains, the fire will break out in a place and a time that people can't extinguish the fire. When is that? So Rashi says on Shabbos itself. On Shabbos itself, you're not allowed to extinguish the flames. Abaya said, so here the Gemara is going to bring a bunch of different opinions regarding what caused the Churban Beis HaMikdash. So Abaya said, Lecharva Yerushalayim ela b'shvul shechilu b'as Shabbos. Yerushalayim was only destroyed because the Yidden desecrated Shabbos. Shenemar, Pasuk says, Umishapsoisai helimu eineim. From my Shabbos, the Yidden have concealed their eyes. They didn't keep Shabbos. Va'achel b'soicham, and I was profaned in it. That's what brought the Churban. Amar Rabavo said, Lecharba Yerushalayim ela b'shvul shebitlu kriyash ma'shachris v'arvus. That the reason why Yerushalayim was destroyed is because the Yidden did not say Kriya Shema at night and Kriya Shema in the morning, in the right time. Shanemar, as the Pasuk says, Hoi mashkime b'boker, woe to those that wake up in the morning and sheichar yirdoif, they wake up in the morning and they're drinking wine. And the continuation of the Pasuk there says that at night also, they're busy at night with parties, and at morning they wake up late, and therefore they don't say Kriya Shema. The Marsha here actually says that this is talking about Sunday morning. Believe it or not, the Marsha says this here. that people Matzah Shabbos have late nights and they have late melave Malka or late parties Matzah Shabbos, and then Sunday morning they wake up late and they don't say Kriya Shema on time. Oksiv, the pasuk there says, "V'haya kinar nevel toif v'chalil v'yayin." They have the harp and the drums and the flute and the wine, mishtaim, and their parties. V'espayel Hashem le'yabitu. And what the Eibishter's work, they don't look at it. Oksiv, and then the pasuk there says, "L'chein gola ami mibli das." Therefore, my nation has been exiled. So this is when they don't keep to the times of Kriya Shema, Shel Shachris, and Shel Arvis. This brought about the destruction of Yerushalayim. Amar Rav Amnuna said, Yerushalayim is destroyed because the Tinoikas Shel Bisraba, the children they were not learning Torah. Shenemar Shefaich Al Oilel Bachutz, the Eibusha pours out his anger because of the children on the outside. Matam Shfaich, why does the Eibusha pour his anger? Mishum the Oilel Bachutz, because the children are outside. Omar Ula said, Lechab Yerushalayim Elav Pnei Shleihoilem Beishis Panim Zemizeh. The Yidden were not embarrassed one of another. In other words, they sinned is one thing, but if you're embarrassed, you can do tshuva. They sinned and there was corruption and they weren't even embarrassed about it. Shenemar, Pasuk says, Hayivishu, you should be embarrassed, Kitayeva also, because you've done an abomination, Gam Beish Le'Yevishu, and you're not even embarrassed. Rav Yitzchak said, because the young and the old was all the same. They didn't give honor to the ones that are older. The regular people in the nation were like the Kayin. Then the pasuk says, the land will be emptied out. Because they didn't give musa one to another, they didn't admonish one another. The ministers in Yerushalayim were like the elim, like the deers. They found no pasture. What is the mashal? Why are they compared to deers? When they walk in groups, they walk in a single file line. The head of one is by the tail of the other, which means that one doesn't pay attention to what's really going on by the other. He only sees by his tail, and otherwise he can't see anything. The same was also in the Yidden in that generation. They buried their heads in the sand, and they didn't admonish one another. It's important for one to admonish one another. When you see something happening, you have to say something about it. You have to go and teach others. Rav Yehuda said, Yerushalayim was destroyed because they embarrassed the Talmidei Chachamim. They embarrassed the Malachi Elakim, the messengers of the Eibishter, and they embarrassed his words, and Mesatim b'Neviov, and didn't give the honor to the Neviim. The anger of the Shem came on his nation. There was no healing. What does this mean? There's no healing. Person that embarrasses the Talmidei Chachamim, ein refuah l'makasei. There's no healing for his illnesses. What is the pshat of what it says in the pasuk? This is in connection to what we said before about the children. Don't touch my anointed ones and my prophets. Meshichai refers to the children. If the pure children have the purity are called Meshichai. Don't do any harm to my prophets. This refers to the Talmidei Chachamim. Reish Lakish says, Mishum Rav Yehuda Nesiya. The world does not stand because of the breath of the learning Torah of the children. So Rav Papa said to Abaye, Didi v'didach mai. How about the breath of mine and your learning of Torah? It's not as valuable as the children. So he answered him, you can't compare the children. And the breath of their learning has no avedis in it to the children, to the adults that learn that do have avedis. So the Rebbe in a Maimer explained the pshat on this Gemara. What was Rav Papa asking Abaye here? What he was asking him is, how can you say that the learning Torah, the little children, is greater than our learning Torah? The little children learn Torah miyiras haratzua. They learn and they're afraid of their teacher that's there with a strap in his hands, and they're only learning by force. They don't have the love for Torah the way we did. The great Amiraim, Rav Papa and Abaye learned Torah with the great connection that they had to Torah. The children are not at that level. So he answered him, no, but it's a hevel shein by chet. And the way this is explained is that Rebbe brings from a maim of the Mittler Rebbe that the children come into the world, their neshama just descended from above. Their neshama still has the great purity and the great power that it had from the world above that it came from. And also, it hasn't adapted to the guf as much, and it hasn't eaten food, and it hasn't been exposed and involved in Olam Haza as much, so therefore there's a greater purity to the breath of the Torah of the children. Reish Lakish said, Mishum Rabbi Yehuda Nisiya, Ei mevatlen teneka shabis rabban. You're not allowed to be mevatel, the children of learning Torah, afilu lebiyim beis hamikdash, even to build a beis hamikdash, which is an amazing thing. The Rebbe also brought this Gemara many times. You see over here, there's nothing greater than building the beis hamikdash, which in general refers to making the dwelling for the Eibishter in this world, the Dira B'Tachtainim, going out there in the world, but you can't ever forget the learning of Torah. As great as all of that is, if you don't have the learning of Torah, you lose everything. So much so that you're not mevatel the learning of Torah, even to do the greatest thing of all, to build the Beis HaMikdash. This is what I have as a tradition from my fathers. He told him, this is a tradition I have in the name of your fathers. Any city that does not have the children learning Torah in it, will be destroyed. Ravina said, will be annihilated. Okay, we'll stop over here. We'll continue Mitzvah Shem. We'll continue Mitzvah Shem after